There are over 100 planetary systems in the universe, yet only one planet is known to be habitable: the planet Earth. Although it is capable of harboring life, Earth's volatile weather conditions don't always make it easy for its inhabitants to live on this planet. Unless you live in a region called Los Angeles. Cozily nestled in the southwest region of North America, Los Angeles basks in its near-perfect weather. Its temperate climate, accompanied by almost year-round sunshine, is a wonderful complement to LA's enchanting vista. Los Angeles is indeed the city of angels. The Angelenos recognize, however, that along with this picture-perfect environment they are blessed with, comes an enormous responsibility to the world. Food, water, shelter. These are what typically come to mind when we think of man's basic needs. Often left off this list, but just as important, is yet another essential necessity for the survival of mankind: entertainment. Cognizant of their vital role in the universe, the Angelenos have taken upon the massive task of providing mankind with this essential need: the need for entertainment. This is the plight of the Angelenos. Imagine a world without entertainment. Fortunately, life does not have to be that way. Scattered all over the Los Angeles region are enormous complexes called studios, where entertainment is produced around the clock. Inside these studios, talented Angelenos work day in and day out in order to give the world some much-needed distraction to escape from their typically humdrum lives and bad weather to boot. So how is entertainment created? It begins with the head of the studio, known as the chief. With his executive sitting close by, the chief takes a meeting with a writer, who verbally describes to everyone the basic premise of this story. This is referred to as the pitch. With the aid of his trusted associates, the proposed project goes through exhaustive scientific testing to determine once and for all whether this is what mankind wants to see for this upcoming fall season. When the chief is happy with the test results, he will then decide to produce the project. This process is called giving it the green light. Time to cast a movie. The question is, where to find actors in Los Angeles? These are the hills of Hollywood. Their high elevation and outrageous property values make for ideal habitats for actors. Actors are called stars because they live high upon these hills, so the rest of the world can gaze at them from below. The biggest of these stars, called superstars, dwell on the highest peak of these hills. But like anything else in nature, harmful forces constantly threaten these vulnerable creatures. One of the most common threats is bad publicity. Meet the paparazzi. Their mission is to take photographs of stars, ideally catching them in their most embarrassing moments, so they can sell them to the tabloids. The tabloid is the conduit between the stars and the people. Man is not satisfied with just seeing their favourite stars on screen. They are just as curious about their lives off screen. This is why the stars travel with their entourage at all times. Hollywood has a reputation of being a male-dominated society. It's a fact that male actors tend to have longer-lasting careers than their female counterparts. After all, how often do we see a male star over 60 playing the love interest of a beautiful actress in her 20s, but never the other way around? So what's behind this supposedly liberal town's askew portrayal of men and women? Welcome to the Research Institute of Entertainment Studies, where Dr. John St. Clair made a recent breakthrough on his study of the human eye.
I recently discovered an area in the human eye that is located between the cornea and the retina. Its main function is to perform a critical analysis of every image it captures before sending it to the occipital lobe of the brain. Finally, we can now quantify in scientific terms what humans like and dislike by monitoring this area of the eye. During the experiment, the subjects were exposed to actors and actresses of varying ages. Our findings show that an actor's age has no significant effect on the test subject's interest level. This was not the case when it came to an actress's age, however. The experiment shows a spike in interest level when exposed to younger actresses. It is worth noting that the male brain completely loses interest when exposed to actresses over the age of 35.
We wanted to further discuss the fascinating discovery with Dr. St. Clair. Unfortunately, the scientist/writer needs to finish his second draft in time for his meeting with Miramax tomorrow. No worries though, actresses over 35 need not be forced into early retirement just yet, thanks to the town with the most famous zip code. Welcome to Beverly Hills, home to the world's top cosmetic surgeons.
People go to the movies to be entertained by beautiful people. And beautiful people don't have crow's feet, droopy breasts, and a BMI of 15. Movies are meant to entertain, not bum people out. And let's face it, getting old is a bummer. And since we have the tools, technology, and Botox to delay the aging process, why not utilize them?
According to the latest statistics, there are 5 plastic surgeons for every Hollywood star. There are also just as many detox centers available to help these stars battle their painkiller addiction they are most likely to develop from all the surgeries that they are about to have. But sometimes, hard as the stars try to stay young and beautiful, it's just simply not enough. Low ratings and poor box office opening weekend gross are clear indications that a star's luster is fading, and that the world is yearning for someone new to adore. But have no fear, Los Angeles is prepared to handle such an unfortunate crisis. Inside these rundown theatres are training grounds for a myriad of aspiring actors. Every day these dedicated hopefuls hone their skills as they gear up to take on Hollywood. Not unlike a soldier who's required to pass boot camp before going to war. An actor has to undergo rigorous training before going on stage. Among these exercises, breathing. Breathing is one of the most essential skills that actors need to learn. These talented creatures cannot work at the top of their form without knowing how to release their muscles and engage their breath. Another exercise is called the statue. The statue is a group exercise where the actors are taught to open their instruments and discard any superfluous emotion they might be holding onto while standing still. A more advanced exercise is called the emotional Rolodex. An emotional Rolodex is an internal database of emotions stored and filed alphabetically for easy access. This is one of the few skills an actor can apply on stage as well as off stage. For instance, when an actor finds out that his fellow actor got the part he previously auditioned for, he can quickly go to the H's on his Rolodex and access his happy emotion, as he congratulates his rival for nabbing his dream role. What he really feels, envy, can be stored under the E's for future roles. Recently, Los Angeles has been threatened by a deadly movement. Somehow, there's a crusade to convince the world that cleverly scripted lines spoken by beautiful fictional characters in carefully crafted stories is no longer entertaining. Armed with nothing but digital cameras, this movement is determined to bully its way into the entertainment capital of the world. This movement is called reality TV. But instead of rejecting this concept, Los Angeles has decided to embrace it, and better yet, improve upon it.
The public doesn't really want reality, they want a simulation of reality. This is why writers are now called story editors. We've also replaced the tripod with shaky handheld cameras to give it a more documentary feel. And the actors are credited using their first names only to make them seem more average and familiar. With the magic of editing and an appropriate music score, voila, reality television.
With a touch of Hollywood. So just what makes these Angelenos so darn creative? We return to the Research Institute of Entertainment Studies. This time we visited with the head of the Department of Creativity.
When comparing the brain of an Angeleno to the rest of the world, we found that Angelenos have significantly more pronounced frontal lobes than non-Angelenos, causing them to be more creative than the rest of the world. We also monitored the Angelenos' overall body movement. Clearly, we see advanced levels of expressiveness in their arms, a vital tool for an actor who relies heavily on gesticulation when performing dramatic roles. Upon examining the Angelenos' lower extremities, we also discovered that they are equipped with leg muscles perfect for walking on the rough terrain of the red carpet.
There is no conclusive scientific explanation to why Angelenos are created so differently from the rest of the world. Who knows? It could be as simple as natural selection. These often misunderstood creatures of Los Angeles may just have been naturally selected by Mother Nature to make the world a happier place. Whatever the explanation is, we can all agree that we're in good hands. So just sit back, relax, and let the Angelenos do what they do best: entertaining the universe.